Kevin Stefanski talked about one of the guys that Mary Kate said was impressive in that preseason game against the Giants, Malik McDowell, a guy that hasn't played in a football game in a few years. Here's Coach Stefanski on Malik McDowell.
I thought he did a really nice job, and I'm glad you brought him up because he hasn't played a game in a long time, and he's been through a lot. And to see him out there making plays, his teammates were excited for him. So he continues to grind, he continues to work at this thing, and I thought he had a nice day.
Do you think he's comfortable with what you're doing on defense? It's, in addition to being back on the football field in 4 years, or is he still trying to shake off a lot of rust?
No, I think he's doing a nice job. I think he worked really hard when we got him in the building in the spring. Obviously, had a couple injuries that set him back, but stayed into it with the walkthrough, stayed into it in the meeting room. So he's a guy that's really, really battling. He's working very, very hard as we get through this training camp.
Let's bring back in Mary Kay Cabot, Browns beat reporter for the Plain Dealer and cleveland.com. Mary Kay, does Malik McDowell have a legitimate chance to be on the 53-man roster? And remember, it's a guy that was a high draft pick and then has been banged up, injured, and had some off-the-field issues.
Yeah, I think he does have a great chance of being on the 53-man roster. I've watched a lot of Malik McDowell all the way back to organized team activities. Actually, he suffered a little bit of a hamstring injury back then and couldn't practice as much as he wanted to. So he's now just starting to get into the flow of things and really starting to flash a little bit. He's a very, very big man, very raw, 6'6", 295. But there's plenty there to develop. He's worth spending more time and effort on. He spends a lot of time trying to pick the brains of a Malik Jackson, of a Jadeveon Clowney, and I really think there's something to him. If they can turn this young man into a football player, they really could be onto something. This is where your personnel department earns its money. When you find a guy that hasn't played football in 4 years and you can turn him into a contributing defensive tackle in the NFL, that's really saying something. We'll see if they can do it, but it's definitely worth pursuing.